Dear Zero, I think you need to hear this, and I wish I had been able to do this sooner, and I wish I could talk to you properly. In person. Um, but I don't know how to get a hold of you. I don't know if anyone can, and it's probably for the best that you're not letting people get a hold of you if you can. So I'll just start off by saying you made a mistake in your life. You've made a lot of mistakes, but one stands out, of course. And everyone makes mistakes. And anyone that says otherwise is lying, or they are not being honest with themselves, which I guess is lying. You, now only you, and not even you necessarily, because time clouds everything, but only you know what you were thinking and what you did exactly when you sent those texts back and forth with the person. But when you do something 6, 7 years ago, I mean, manslaughter charges you can be forgiven for in less time. So I think you should forgive yourself. And look, a lot of the internet is being pretty awful to you, and a lot of people say, I don't agree with what he did, but, and a lot of people support you, and it might be hard to see those that support you or those that are more nuanced about it. But I think you'd be surprised about the amount of support for you out there. And I think if you feel guilt, which you almost certainly do, and you think you did a crime, then, I don't know, turn yourself in. Like, I imagine if you got sentenced for what you did, which I have no idea, but I imagine the sentence would be shorter than the amount of time that's already passed since you sent the text. And that's if it happens at all, because I don't know, it might not even be a crime. And I think that you should realize that although you're only going to see a lot of the bad, there's a lot of good out there, a lot of people that understand your circumstance and realize that at 19-year-olds you're a stupid, lonely, awkward dweeb. And you're even more stupid now by not realizing that about yourself. But there's always a chance for redemption. And I think that's an important thing, is second chances and redemption. That's part of being human. We all make mistakes. That's how we learn, and that's how we grow. And nobody's perfect. Nobody's done everything correct 100%. And I've been there, suicidal, that sort of thing. And you're in a point where life can't get better. You see it, it's obvious, it's clear. Life doesn't get better, it never will. And it's logical and obvious, but the thing is, when you think that, you're wrong, because it can get better. Especially if you start looking at the world more honestly and start being kinder to yourself. Forgive yourself as you would forgive others. Especially someone with your background. You've been through a lot, and it doesn't mean that what you did wasn't a mistake, as everyone keeps saying. And I think that what you have to realize is that, again, everyone makes mistakes. What I recommend you should do, and of course this depends on your situation and your own life, because I don't know it, only you do, but I think that it's fairly obvious that Smash is very important to you, and your channel is very important to you. And those are things you should give up. And when you're ready, after you've forgiven yourself, either by trying to turn yourself in, seeing what the process is, if that's even a thing you can do, or apologizing to the person that wanted an apology, if you haven't done so many times already, I think you should try again. First video on the channel, of course, should probably be something of an apology, standard fare, like, this is what I did wrong. I haven't done it since. I will try to be better. I will be better. That sort of thing. Because I think if you make one mistake without repeat offense, you can be forgiven for just about anything. And I don't think anyone's beyond redemption, or just about anyone. Especially not someone that just was really awkward and stupid with texting. Being in person, that's another story, but even then I think you can be forgiven. And, you know, idiot teenager being an idiot teenager is also different from a 40-year-old who should know better. And another difference is a 40-year-old shouldn't be texting teenagers at all like that, of course. Whereas with a 19-year-old, life's a lot more confusing. Yeah, I'm not giving excuses exactly, but reasons to forgive yourself. And I think if you started making videos again after that, doing Smash again if you want, if you feel up for it, or something else, because you have a great personality, I think you'll find that you'll get a lot of hate, of course, but I think you'll also get a lot of support. And I think eventually when your character is realized, the goodness of your character, as long as you prove that your character is good, which I think you can. You said you're not a good person, but that's wrong. You can choose at any point in your life, no matter what you've done, to be a good person from then on. And so I think you should and can choose to do that. And I think you probably already have, and you're just, well, you don't know where to go now, and you don't know what to do. It's unreconcilable in your mind. But I think if you put yourself out there and you don't just look at the hatred, you'll see that there's a lot of people willing to forgive you. And the most important thing, of course, is forgiving yourself. But when you see that, let's say, 30, 50% of people want to forgive you, and you realize that a lot of the others don't matter, that's what's important. And above all else, I think, no matter how much people on the internet revile you, you know at the end of the day who you are, and you know that you're worth it because everyone's worth it, and they should treat themselves as such. And taking your life or trying to escape it, or you just want to hide for a while, right? And at the end of the day, that's not the way out, because the true way out is glorious, you know? It's realizing that you can keep going, and that there is beauty in life. And you will someday find the path out, as long as you keep trying. And it might take a long time, but you will find a way. And yeah, I think you should come back. But if you don't want to, get it. And this isn't, I wouldn't even consider myself a particularly large fanboy. I just see a fellow human being about my age suffering, and some places I've been, some I haven't, and from the outside it seems so obvious that what you did is so minor in the grand scheme of things, and how you treat yourself is so overblown, and how the world's been treating you is so overblown. And yeah, so apologize, be honest, and that's the most important thing. Be true to yourself, be true to others. Apologize if you think what you did was wrong. And heartfelt and meaningful, don't lie about anything, be totally honest. What you did was wrong, what you did was right, all those things, be honest about both. And you'll realize that maybe you should have been more clear with some things, but there's still a time to be more clear now. And maybe you've been too hard on yourself on some things, and there's still time to be less hard on yourself now. I don't know how to get a hold of you again, but if you ever want to try to get a hold of me to talk, because there's a lot more I can say, but and I think I have some stuff that would be useful to say, then please do try. Comment on this video, or trying to find me elsewhere. I don't really have social media beyond YouTube, which is probably good for me. And yeah, ever upwards, like Stanley used to say, Excelsior. I think that's the way to look at life. And I think you will do better and can do better and will do great things, and make the rest of your life making everyone else's lives better, which you already did for the most part. A lot of people have you to thank for many great things, and then at the end of the day, we'll all be very glad to see that you're doing well. Yeah, and yeah, it's not fair to take everything from someone and then expect them not to be in your situation and upset and want to kill themselves and everything. But I don't think everything has to be taken from you, and I hope you realize that, and yeah, I hope you do well. I really hope the best for you in your future. And yeah, take care.